Hello, welcome back to chapter 9 of my book, The A to Z of Alcohol and Sobriety, Everything You Need to Know by me, Corinna Alderton. It's not just about alcohol and sobriety though, it's a great wellbeing resource. Today we're covering the I's, which includes inner child, insomnia, imposter syndrome, and it starts with the I Am Sober community. This is a free sobriety app with an amazingly supportive community. I own my sobriety, but I credit the wonderful people in this community for helping me get and stay sober. You can remain completely anonymous if you wish. Most people use pseudonyms, some of which you will see in this book. Mine is Corinna Dottypot. You can post, read, support, be supported and celebrate. There is also a daily counter, milestone marker and money counter on there, and it covers so much more than alcohol. I'm currently working on my sugar addiction. There are informal daily Zooms which were set up and run by people from the IAS community. If you would like more information on these, then just email me at alcoholandsobriety@gmail.com. I Am Woman. I stumbled across this movie and song during my first year of sobriety. For many months the song was my morning go-to and gave me the strength and right attitude for the day. The film is about Helen Reddy's life and her battle as a female singer in a very male-dominated industry in the 1970s. With strength and conviction, she became one of the most successful female singers of her time, and I Am Woman became the anthem for the women's rights movement in America, in which she played a very active part. Her husband at the time was Jeff Ward, and his drug and alcohol use was a catalyst for their divorce in 1983. He has now been sober for over 35 years. Helen Reddy died in 2020 and never saw the Equal Rights Amendment that they had fought so hard for, as it is still not been signed. Here are some of the words from her song. You can change the woman to man, sober, or whatever works for you. But if it doesn't, just try to find your own anthem, as it really does help. I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to come back and pretend. 'Cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one's ever going to keep me down again. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look how much I've gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I'm strong. I'm invincible. I am woman. You can bend but never break me, because it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I've come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, because you've deepened the conviction in my soul. Id, from Freud's Das Es, the it. The id is not organised and realistic like our ego and superego. It is our unconscious desire and works on instinct. I want it, and I want it now. Think of babies and toddlers. We feed them on their demand. Their id does not know about waiting. With time, explanation and development of our egos, we slowly learn to wait, even if it is begrudgingly. Once we learn acceptance, we don't mind waiting. No more anger or frustration. It just is. But beware, our id also likes to do push-ups in the corner and make us spit our dummy out from time to time. Identity crisis. A term used by the psychoanalyst Erik Erikson, along with midlife crisis. Our biggest identity crisis is in our adolescence, when we start figuring out where we fit in the world. This can be a tricky time for all, with a tug of war between our parents, our peers, and our conscience. I started drinking when I was 14. Not every day, but a few days a week. My friends and I would work our way around our parents' drink cabinets, a real trend in the 1970s. Mostly apricot and cherry brandy. We drank cans of lager at the park, and on a big night out in Burnham-on-Crouch we'd sink 2 aspirin in a large bottle of cider and drink it through straws to get drunk quicker. We got away with half pints of lager in the back bar of some pubs, and I remember being allowed to take part in a beer drinking competition at a local village hall at the age of 16. I got completely smashed that night on whiskey, and I've never touched it since. I can't even stand the smell. Anyhow, the whole point of this is for you to see what I did with my identity crisis. I drank my way through it and anaesthetised myself. So now, at the grand old age of 57, I'm working my way through it along with my midlife one. Illicit, illegal substances. My mindset used to be, if it's illegal, it's bad for you. Alcohol is legal, so it must be okay, and drugs are far worse. Whilst I'm not encouraging you to go out and get hooked on drugs, I just wanted to clarify some facts. Alcohol is the most dangerous drug known to man, both to self and others, killing more people every year than all other drugs combined. Ketamine is now being prescribed for depression. Cannabis products, largely CBD, are being used legally for pain, anxiety and epilepsy, and further research has been recommended in its use to treat cancer. Research trials are continuing in the use of MDMA, ecstasy, Mandy, for post-traumatic stress disorder. Psychedelic drugs such as LSD and magic mushrooms for anxiety and depression, and anorexia, alcohol, opioid and crack cocaine addiction. It is thought that these drugs could be prescribed within the next 5 years or so. Why have they not been available before now? Because just one trip can reset our brain. Now, where is the money in that? But wait, do not run out and buy yourself a trip. This can be very dangerous. Drugs are very addictive and kill thousands of people every year. And I've nursed people in wheelchairs who have jumped out of windows because they thought that they could fly. And if you're on antidepressants or other medication, have high blood pressure, heart disease or other conditions, this could be extremely dangerous. Wait for the trials and for all of it to become legal and supervised. The trials take so long because it takes the doctors and clinics at least 2 years to get the go-ahead to use these banned substances. For a great film about this from the World Science Festival, check out 122 Revealing the Mind, The Promise of Psychedelics on YouTube. Illusions. Ever seen a monster in your room when it was just your dressing gown hanging on the back of your door? Or seen a person on the side of the road and it turned out to be a tree? Ever thought how amazing that magician was? They are all illusions, as are the wonderful, happy, amazing, glorified effects of alcohol. Do you want to be the puppet or the master? Imposter syndrome. That pesky self-doubt. The worry that we don't belong and don't deserve what we have or where we are in life. The imposter syndrome is a fraudster. The first time I actually felt this was in my sobriety. I didn't deserve to feel so good. I couldn't understand where feeling so good came from. I couldn't remember ever feeling it before in my life. My life was visible, right? And that's just life. Wrong. Life is wonderful, and it is for loving, laughing and living. Our sober community can really help with this. They help us to fit in and belong and give us confidence to just be. Inappropriate. Oh, the shame. Just think of the last time you were drunk and inappropriate, when you did something embarrassing that you would not have done had you been sober. That situation that's played on your mind and filled you with regret and upset. From this moment on, do not beat yourself up about it. Turn it around and put it in your toolbox. Use it whenever you need to help you play the tape forwards and keep you sober. Incapacitated means being unable to do things normally. Ever been ill or injured and unable to move around or do what you would usually do? On top of the pain and feeling ill that comes with it, a frustration usually emerges because we cannot freely do what we want to. When we get drunk, we are inflicting this upon ourselves. We are unable to talk, walk, or even think straight. We are unable to make decisions, and we become irrational. Things no longer make sense, and we bring about our own frustration and make ourselves vulnerable. We are trapped inside a body that does not function, with a brain and a mind that cannot control it. If we keep on drinking, this will become permanent. If we stop, we can become free. Indecision. It's horrible when we can't make our minds up, but it's better than making awful drunk decisions. I do get frustrated when I cannot decide and feel pressured when there's a time limit. Then I remind myself at least I have full capacity to make one. It may not always be the wisest, and I make mistakes which I learn from, but at least they are not downright stupid and dangerous. I will take my time today. Decisions are important, and it's okay not to know the answer straight away, if at all. It helps to pause and allow ourselves space and time. Individual. It's what we have the right to be and what we are. We all have our own ways, our own quirks, our own interests and our own wishes and dreams. No two people are the same, and that's what makes us interesting and unique. For this very reason, what works for me may not work for you. It is important for us to respect each other's individualism and rights, especially in sobriety. We're all fighting a battle with a similar aim and goal, but we have to do it in our own way. Inflammation is bloody painful and can affect any part of our body, making it red, hot and swollen. But did you know this is actually our body's defence to protect and heal damaged tissue? Alcohol irritates the stomach, which inflames to protect us. This leads to increased stomach acid, nausea and vomiting. When we drink every day, this can make our stomach continually inflamed and change our gut bacteria, leading to chronic inflammation anywhere in the body. Gut inflammation can cause cancer, bowel and liver disease, and brain inflammation. Inner child. We all have an inner child. Sometimes they sit silently, other times they are petulant and argumentative. Mostly for me, little Corinna felt angry, rejected, unloved and sad. She was very scared and afraid, and it was a horrible place to be. So older Corinna drank to numb and silence her, but she'd come out in all her glory when older Corinna had had enough and snapped with anger. Other times the depression would hit, and the silence and anxiety would come. During my journey, I placed a photo of 2-year-old me on my fridge, looking innocent, trusting and happy. Very slowly I learnt to walk hand in hand with her again. With that came trust, faith and love. It now feels amazing. Your little you is in there, waiting patiently. Insomnia. Difficulty getting off to sleep, staying asleep, waking up early or sleeping at all. We all know it. Sleep is so important for growth and repair, and poor sleep leads to all sorts of physical and mental health problems. Many of us drink alcohol to help get off to sleep, but alcohol disturbs our REM sleep, our most restorative sleep stage. Just another reason why we wake up feeling like shite and still tired the next morning. Inspiration. Where do we get this from? Well, firstly, from inside of us. Try listening to your heart instead of your head. Look around and see what messages the universe is giving you. Who or what is out there inspiring you? Turn envy and jealousy into admiration. Make a plan and go for it. When I first joined the I Am Sober community, I saw a picture of Chef 56 standing underneath a beautiful tall sunflower which she had grown from seed. He was 1 year sober. I wondered how both things were possible, but could see that they were. I grew sunflowers from seed the next year along with my sobriety. Never doubt what others see. The seed you sow or the inspiration you grow in yourself and others. We are all an inspiration to someone. Intestines are part of our gut and made up of our small and large bowel. They measure between 15 and 21 feet and run from our stomach to our anus. Our intestines are where most of our food is digested and where our nutrients are absorbed by our bloodstream and waste products removed to form our poop. They make small muscular movements which move our food and poop along. Alcohol interrupts this muscle movement, causing the diarrhoea many of us encounter after drinking. Alcohol also stops the absorption of all of those wonderful nutrients, leading to damage to many parts of our body. Intimacy, a feeling of closeness and connection to someone. This is something alcohol completely removes. How can we feel close or connected to someone if our physical being, emotions and senses are all numbed? How can we understand and have compassion and connection with others if we are struggling to make sense of what is in front of us? And it's not only effective when we are drinking. Regular long-term drinking draws us away from others until we feel isolated and alone. The only intimacy we have left is with the bottle, and that is a horrible place to be. In recovery, connection is key, and that, my friend, is a wonderful place to be. Iron, or hemoglobin, is found in our red blood cells and is vital to help carry oxygen around our body. Alcohol causes our red blood cells to die too quickly and reduces the amount that our bodies make. Low iron makes us feel very tired and look very pale. It can also cause dizziness, breathlessness, cold hands and feet. The good news is it can be reversed by putting down the booze, getting a medical, and eating healthily, including meat, nuts, beans, spinach, cereals, and bread. I hope something that was helpful for you today, and I'll see you again soon with Jay. Ta-ta for now.